This is the W2 report with Sanji Himura. Here's Sanji.
Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting episode of the W2 Report. I'm your host Sanji Himura. Today we take a look at the Steam Machine in all of its glory and all of its overpriced nonsense. But before we do, let's go over the ground rules with Lord Crocosquirrel as always.
Rule number 1, beat up the dick. Rule number 2, if it seems like you might be, please refer to rule number 1.
Alright, before we proceed any further, let us bring in Mr. Len.
Alright. Today we are discussing the Gape Cube.
Alright, now, before we proceed any further, we do have a couple of show announcements for you. We do have the Irving Tales coming up at Anime North Texas. Join us August 7th at high noon inside their panel room 1 for an hour of bad judgment. when all is said and done, we're going to talk Valve, and should we go ahead and announce the topic that we're going to discuss right now? They do know now that it's going to be Valve adjacent at least, because we're gonna talk Valve at least. So stay tuned for more details as to what we're going to talk about on the Irving Tales for our live show.
Month or so.
What?
Over the next month or so, we'll brief them more, little bits every week. It'll be fun.
Yes, we're gonna talk Valve, and we're gonna see what happens from here, between here and August 7th. We do have the honor of being the first panel of the convention, so come early and join us for the Irving Tales. Now, the Steam Machine happens to have been released, and the prices have, let's just say they have been we've underestimated the pricing on the Steam Machine for quite a while now.
You see, now here's the deal. Valve is producing a small computer. It's a small form factor computer. They aren't listening, but everybody else is thinking, oh, it's going to be a console. No, it would not. I'm not surprised by any of this.
Well, speaking of consoles, I did have a little inkling on how much Sony and Microsoft were undercutting the technology that they were using to produce the Xbox and the PlayStation 5.
It's not a matter of that. They're undercutting on price because they're thinking, wow, if we undercut on price, we can make it up. We can make it up later
with game sales.
With game sales and other shit. PlayStation Plus and all of its multi-tier glory. See, what else have we got? Oh, right. The Yeah, Game Pass.
Yeah.
They only have so much they can do on Game Pass, or in fact PS Plus. Mr. Gaben said, "Okay, I don't want to lose money off the top because they can just go and buy the games off of Steam. So we're gonna do it this way."
Well, okay.
And what they did was they built a machine that would be that would be equivalent to something actually very nice in any other circumstance, and they priced appropriately.
Okay, so I have here on your screen the PS5 base model, the PS5 Pro model, the Xbox Series X compared to the Steam machine. And I've laid out their CPUs that they use, the RAM that they use, the storage that they use, and the GPU that they used. I priced the console according to 2026 standards, and I've also used PC Part Picker to price out the comparable PC parts for a similar performing console or PC. And the results are staggering. I'll put it that way. So let's start from the top here. One thing to note is that the PS5 and the Xbox Series X all share the same similar architecture. They're AMD-based Ryzen 2 Zen 2 CPUs with 8 cores, 16 threads. They all share similar RAM. The only difference between the two happens to be the storage. And they're eating at least a 50% loss selling the console compared to buying similar parts for PC. Meanwhile, if you take a look at the Steam machine, yes, you get a lower performing Zen 4 CPU.
There's nothing
Yes,
wrong
you
with
do.
the Zen 4s.
Yes,
The
you.
Zen 4s will actually outdo the Zen 2 if you treat it nicely.
Yes, you do get the same similar RAM as the consoles.
But it's actually gonna the RAM's gonna be a little bit slower, but you don't need to.
But you don't
But you don't-
need faster RAM. I'm sorry to say.
necessarily.
I'm sorry to say.
Necessarily.
Yeah. I'm sorry to say you don't necessarily need faster RAM. You get
And that's probably going to be upgradable.
Yes, it is upgradable. You can upgrade the storage and the RAM on the Steam machine. Okay, so
That's 10 better than any of the other regular consoles.
yeah,
Not gonna lie.
you get a RDNA based 3 based GPU, and they're selling the Steam machine at a 16% loss. And that's only
Compared
because
to 50?
compared to 50. Yeah, they're only selling the Steam machine at a 16% loss. And
But
that's
then everybody uses Steam. Regardless of circumstances, everybody uses Steam.
Yeah. And that's only because the RDNA 3 based GPUs is 20 gigabytes of GDDR RAM. According to my
GDDR5
research.
should be DDR5.
No, it's GDDR6.
Let's see. The regular RAM is GDDR5.
Yeah.
But I don't see anything. You don't have the numbers, the actual numbers for the GPUs.
Well, I was basing it on the cheapest parts available for comparison. And to make a note of it, $900 on the Steam machine when compared to PC parts. $900 on the GPU happens to be the price of the GPU. Now, we have idiots who are saying that the Steam machine is not performing as well as the PS5 base model. When we both know that's not true. Yes, it has less cores, but does it really need them? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, does it really need them?
Again, 13,500 is way better than it could have been.
Yes. They could have easily charged $2,000.
Yes. And I would expect to cough up $2,000 if I was going to spec a machine out like that. But even at a 16%, if they actually, you know what, if they had priced to break even, it would still be worth the money.
Yes. Honestly, it would. I fully expect to buy one of these.
Eventually. After we've taken care of all the other bills.
Yeah. But
I just got to salute Valve on this, in that they're making so much money through a functional games marketplace that they can easily afford to sell at cost. Sell a console at cost.
Yes. Or if they take up minimum if they take up limited stock the way they did with the Steam Deck, that number will go up. Also note Um, they make enough money out of that powerhouse that they don't actually need to. When you think about it,
Yeah.
because who's gonna? You got somebody that buys one of these things because the GameCube looked cool. Okay, it works across the platform. Everything is all hunky dory. They import their existing libraries, and then and because it's going to be that much easier, they uh, they buy Steam games. Taking a 16% loss on the console is, yeah, they'll make that up in a couple of days, couple 3 4 days, something like that. Even if the selection is limited by they didn't make a Linux version, uh, there's always ways around that. And I'd be more than willing to bet the software package um, includes something like Winer or other such similar things.
Well, I'm looking at the Steam page for the Steam OS, right? The Steam machine right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I can pack my Steam library into little SD cards. This is how serious that I can take it. Go to my mother's house, leave the Steam machine there, and then play it whenever I want, whenever I'm there. It's that easily transportable.
I wouldn't leave it at your mom's house.
No, I wouldn't leave it at my mom's house either, but I was just saying I could if I wanted to. That's that's how that's how portable a computer can get right now.
They call them laptops. Computers have been portable for a long time. This is a square box with the components inside that you can put in a little case and just carry, or into the bottom of a backpack.
Yeah. Now,
Sorry, what were you getting at?
Um, Now, now they're doing a randomized reservation order. So, basically, everybody that joins in a queue, will be placed in a randomized order. And you have to have a Steam account in good standing. You have to made a purchase on Steam prior to April 27th, 2026. And there's only one sign up per household.
I can imagine why that would be, yes.
Well, so if we take a look at the comments, um, one one idiot I wanted to highlight. Um, so let me find it here. Here it is. Okay. Now, um, Nib here, happens to be an idiot, in my opinion. And why we're highlighting him, because uh, is because IGN gave both the Switch 2 and the PS5 Pro as 7 out of 10, both criticized for being expensive. Yet they gave the far more expensive Steam machine an 8 out of 10, despite it being weaker than a base PS5. That's argumentative. We don't have firm numbers yet for
We would
performance numbers.
we would need to put the two machines side by side and see which one loads first.
Yes. And a ROG Ally X in 9 out of 10, its high price seemingly not as issue as and described as reasonably priced. Okay, launch prices: Switch 2 $499, PS5 Pro $699, ROG Ally X $1,000, Steam machine with pad, and yes, different reviewers. Yeah. yeah, this guy's an idiot. But I think this is all we have time for today. And let me do this. I've been Sanji Himura. Thank you for watching this little episode of the W2 Report. Remember to do all the YouTube things, like, comment, and subscribe. And beware, the tax man cometh.
Hello, folks. This is Morgan Freeman. This concludes our broadcast.